Yeah, so this is Baruch here at the Tikkun Elevator Colo, and it's nighttime. I'm still working with my throat. This is South Florida weather is beautiful but damp, so there's always a little hint of the possibility of getting something in your throat, or this is wintertime here. So I'll clear my throat the best I can. This particular Zohar is in Pinchas. This is the night Zohar. And we're going to keep working along is that we got to a point where we started talking about the tefillin of the head. And it's always taking a position, or it seems to be taking a position, that the tefillin of the head are an outgrowth of the penetration of the mochim of the Nayavima into the head of Zeranpin. Just like she pierced the head and came right in and brought his mochim into him and built him up from there. Around the back, then there are the tefillin themselves have a strap on the right, a strap on the left. They go around the head. Then they meet at the nape of the neck, and that's the place where there's a knot there in the form of the letter Dalet. So we saw this the last time, and it said also that the letter Dalet refers to Leah. Leah is the older sister of Rachel, and her place, relationship in the cosmos, let's say, so to speak, the world beyond, is in the back of Zeranpin from his chest upward to about the place where you see it right here with the Dalet, which represents Leah there. So then there's some kind of incorporation, and now we're at the next Zohar. And I've looked at this is my second time looking at it because it was really very hard for me to make some of the leaps I couldn't quite understand. Let's just read the Zohar first. He said, now after these straps come down, he says the Vasa and Nachsa they go down. Vispashanta will be yarking the Sata, and it causes that the legs will start going downwards. Kevin the he is Kidis the Eda Bigadika Yos. So since she and I read the matuk the best I could understand it. He says Kevin the he is Kidis the Eda Bigadika Yos. So since she's now really joined into the up above the way it should be, that refers to Leah. So Leah is now that focal point of where the strap. Now we would say that the strap on the right is Chesed and the strap on the left is Gebura. And Leah is going to represent, or that knot's going to represent the confluence, which is Teferis. Now let's go on. He says, Nachsa the Santa, this goes down low, his Acha, so that they can make a Yichud with the Uchlasaha, which the Matuk says that this refers to, the word means with their hosts, which refers to Netzach and Hod. They want to join together to Netzach and Hod. God, he is Achadis, in which she makes that join. She makes the joining at the very lowest place. Rishima the Yud Baris Kadisha Allah. So there's a place right there. You see that there's an impression there of the letter Yud, the holy Yud, Aloma La'ela, that's coming down from up above. Kaden Ihi is Achadis Kabi Yehud Echad. When all of that comes together, she makes a union. That becomes the ultimate yichud. Now, so we'll learn here the Matuk Medevash and try to understand what he's saying. So excuse my voice, but this is the best I could do right now. Lavasar, so he says after this, Acher shenisak the anpin hagar the mochin the godless. So now he has a tikkun that's taken place because the gar of his mochim, he has his brain power. He's grown to his full height. The mochim, the godless, he says, Nachsai goes down to his pshatu, yarkin the sata, yarda. So he says, what comes down is a haarah. A haarah came from what? It came from the entrance of this of the gar into the head of Zir Anpin, and he starts to grow and mature. And then this causes that the legs of Zer Anpin should be rebuilt and his rebuilt. Lamata going downwards, Shehem so Nahi Achadash and they're the secret of a new Nahi. That is the lower part of Zer Anpin, which is Netzachod and is Yisod. Achadash and the Zer Anpin B'chein. So he says, Kaven shall Leah ne'echezes lamala besod hakasher shall tefillin shall rosh garoi. Since Leah is still holding on up above, besod the kasher shall rosh the tefillin. Achar kach nachsach the sata ha'aros anahi achadashim. So now you have. Let me just read this again. Kaven shall Leah ne'echezes as a lamal. Besod the kasher shall tefillin shall rosh garoi. So she's in her proper position at the nape of the neck. So I'm not sure exactly what this does for you, but let's go on. So there is a radiance that comes out, let's say the rays of the new Nahi. Yordos Lamata La'asos Mochin the Malchus, they go down, and they go down to be able to make Mochin for Malchus. This acha the Ba'ochlasachos, Shenis acha Benetzach Zah, the Karim Tzabakos. So let's say this radiance goes down, the rays go down, these new rays, they go down below to make mochin, to bring, that is, shefa from up above, the mochin that we just came into Zer Anpin, and the rays and the secondary light that comes from it, into the mochin de Malchus. And where is the Malchus right now? Malchus is holding on to the Netzach and Hodazah, and they crime Tzavakos, which are called Tzavakos. Now, I'm not sure what time it is because I've been reading, in the Sifra Tzniuta about or somewhere, I'm not sure exactly, about where they're holding. So he says, Malchus as Malchus holds on to the Nai of Zah, so she goes to that place in the morning. That is where the Kesser of we're learning this. I get also in the Tivik of so I'm learning it. He ne'achazes b'sofa yarkim. So therefore, her main place that she will grab onto, where is she going to? Where is the keser of Rachel, who has been in Bria? That's what we're learning in other places. She's been in Bria, now she comes up and she wants to get a hold of their anpin, so she goes through the legs to the netzach, no, the hainu, the taris yisod is their anpin. And now he says like this: she goes not to the legs, but she goes to a special place, that is the tip of the Yesod of Zer Anpin, a Nasan Bain train Yarkin that are between his two legs. Va'az, Urashima, the Yud Baris Kadisha, Roshan Shal Oz Yud, he Bris Kodesh. So he says that there is an impression there, a stamp, a letter Yud. That Yud stands for the Bris Kodesh. The Hainu Yarkim. So the Hainu, let me see if I got the place. Hadas. So he says, what is this bris stamp of the bris kodesh? He says that's das. Why? Das shalo. It's her das. Sheniskane mehe gavuro shaloteres yisod dezah, that is made out of the 5 gavuros. The teres yisod dezah shehizod os yud, which is the secret of the letter yud. Also lamala. So she went up. Kidas and the Nukva Yarda the Mata Bembes Kasvim Shalom, they go down below between her two shoulders. And they go all the way down to the bottom where the Yisod is. Now the Ataras Yisod pours out these Hegavuros, and now Malchus has come back and she's receiving this, Yisod is her Anpin. He she then starts going back up. He goes bein chub shalot, to be in the midst of her own chochma bina. Now, this is a lot of stuff that I really can't place 100%. So I'm just doing the bidon and doing the best I can. Then but when she can meet together at that place of the Ateres Yisod, that's the place that makes the yichud. Oz he misyachedes im zer anpen, she makes a yichud with zer anpen beyichud erod, in one complete yichud. That's it. Mark Flashman, Night Zohar.